gets the context of it. Go on.
Listen, they're just a club that hit the jackpot. There's really no difference between them and any club like 12, 13 years ago.
Can I just stop you there, though? Can I just stop you there? Yeah.
Go on.
We call us a fake club, yeah? No history in plastic, yeah?
Yes.
But we won the FA Cup 64 years before you won the FA Cup, yeah? 64 years, yeah? So that's a bit of history for you.
Yeah? No, listen.
No, let me tell you this. No, let me speak. And we won a European trophy before you, yeah? We won a European trophy before you. We won a Cup Winners' Cup in 1970. That's before you, yeah? You call us plastic about fans. Our average attendance has been miles higher than you for years and years and years. The highest attendance in English football history, yeah? 84,000 at Main Road, yeah? The highest attendance in football history, yeah? Then you wanted to talk about cheating, yeah? Now, if you want to talk about cheating, let's talk about what the show's called. It's called Straight Facts, yeah? It's not called bullshit or hearsay. It's called Straight Facts. And the only football club to be found guilty of cheating is Liverpool Football Club, who hacked Manchester City's scout system and stole the players that we were looking at, yeah, and got caught and had to pay Man City £1 million. So if you want to talk about cheating, let's talk about that, because hacking a scouting system and stealing players and looking at targets can affect the on-field performance. Mancini's wages getting paid by Al Jazeera through an agency does not make Manchester City win 7 league titles. So if we want to talk about cheating, let's get it right. If Manchester City had scouted your scouting system, you'd be on here calling us cheats. So the only cheating club in this, yeah, is you. So to come on here and call Man City fake and plastic, well, I'm sorry. This football club is far from fake and plastic. We won 7 Premier Leagues, yeah? You've won 1 in 34. You can go on about your Champions League. I respect it. Yeah, you've won 6. But don't come on here and call Manchester City plastic and fake when you haven't got a fucking clue what you're talking about, because you just make yourself look a dick. And the show's called Straight Facts, not Dicks. So the Dick Show is starting it next week and you're on it. So, you know, it is what it is. But I'm just putting you right.
I mean, I wouldn't be on there because that wouldn't be a YouTube show. But listen, I double down on what I said.
Mate, it's on LubeTube.
Listen, I let you speak. Let me speak now. Here's the thing when it comes to City. I double down on what I say. I have absolutely, he has every right to respond the way he has. It's his club. But I double down on what I say. Man City simply hit the jackpot. There's no difference between them and any mid-table club that could have done that 13, 14, 15 years ago. There's just no difference. The truth is, when Sheikh Mansour bought Manchester City, it really could have been any other club. There were talks on Newcastle back in the day. They could have really just bought anyone. They could have bought Everton. They could have bought, thank God they didn't buy Everton, to be fair. But they could have bought any Premier League club and it would have resulted in the same thing. They just hit the jackpot. So the thing is, when you look at Manchester City, look, when I say regarding history and all of that, the truth is their history is nowhere near the history of the big clubs. He could tell me winning FA Cup before the blah, blah, blah. I mean, Preston North End was the first Invincibles. Are we going to now shove Thierry Henry to the side and go like Preston North End done it in the 1800s? So we have to be fairly objective here when speaking. The truth is 115 charges or whatever it is. And listen, by the way, Liverpool are guilty 100%, and they did pay for it. So we did pay a fine. So we were guilty and we got convicted and we paid the money. We didn't insert 500 lawyers. We just paid the money and we kept it going, So
that must make it okay then, yeah?
No, I never said that. I said we were guilty, but we paid the fine and we carried on with it. With Man City, the reason why I call it fake and plastic is, you don't understand, I interact with many different people than you do. We don't interact with the same people. The City fans that I interact with, you could tell were really not City fans 5-6 years ago. You could tell a lot of them converted from Arsenal, a lot of them converted from Chelsea, a lot of them converted from here, from that. And that whole, average attendance stuff, that's just BS. This is when you push statistics to the side and use your eye test. We see the Etihad. We don't need, all these numbers throwing. By the way, this ain't the first time. They've been doing this for the last 10 years. Oh, we've got the highest average attendance, blah, blah, blah. You go watch the Etihad.
You actually went to games, yeah? You went to games. There's things in games called corporate sections. I know you probably don't go to many games, but I do.
I don't.
So if you see an empty seat on Match of the Day, I don't go wetting my pants about it, because I probably know that's the 1894 lounge or the Summit Lounge. Do you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, you're talking shit but I get it because I know Man City.
Well, what have I said that's false?
No, I know Man City are taking titles off you, yeah? I know your precious Liverpool team, the mentality monsters got done by the little team, the plastic team.
So you just can't answer my point.
Listen, and I know that you're now in the Europa League, yeah? So I know you're hurting that. But there's no need to come at Manchester City Football Club because of the failings of your club. You can blame Manchester City for the failings of your club all you want. But at the end of the day, your club is in a mess. Your club is in the Europa League. My club, with the empty seats and the plastic fucking support, is in the Champions League final next week in Istanbul. Can you take the X Factor for me? Because I'm going to miss it.
Okay, but that has nothing to do with what I'm saying. You basically
just said... No, can you take the X Factor for me next Saturday because I'm in Istanbul?
No, but you just said, basically, your response to everything I said is Liverpool are crap, which has nothing to do with it.
No, because I agree with you.
Liverpool are crap. Liverpool should do better. It has nothing to do with
Manchester City Football Club to help you feel better. So you need help and therapy for that. So I'm going to suggest
I don't need therapy.
In Jordan, you can go and go round there, get it all out in the mirror and that, talk to him and that.
I'm good. I don't need therapy.
Man. Trust me, you'll be all right.
You know, Steve, your head's so hot for no reason whatsoever. There is nothing that I said that's factually wrong.
I'm pretty calm, I thought. I just
I'm
laid it out.
Too.
The show's called Straight
you're
Facts.
the one who's talking about...
I just laid you out 10 straight facts, and you've come back at me with pure bullshit about empty seats and big sections that are missing.
Did you hit the jackpot, yes or no?
Of course we did. Because, but hold on a minute, are you not now begging for that jackpot?
Yes, of course I am.
There you go then. But so you're jealous then, innit? Are you jealous?
Of the money, of course. Who isn't?
All right, but
how does that change?
Admit that then.
How does that change the fact? How does that? But once again, listen. When I spoke, your response can't be Liverpool are crap and should do better because I agree.
No, my response was...
No, hear me out.
The reason you're calling us plastic is to deflect from the fact that your team at the minute are poor. But don't put that on us. That's down to you and your management. No, if you're mentality monsters and you're Liverpool FC, the biggest team in the universe, why have you only won one title in 34 years? Why?
That's a brilliant question. That's an unbelievable question. Once again, this ain't about Liverpool, though. I don't know why you're making this about my club.
You're calling me plastic, but we've won seven Premier Leagues.
So what does that have to do with the plasticity?
Because listen, if you've ever been to Anfield?
But what does that have to do with it once again?
No, right, because let me tell you, next time I go Anfield, I'm going to take a video for you. And if you want to talk about plastic, I'll show you the coach park. I'll show you outside Anfield. I'll show you everything about Anfield that goes on that is very, very plastic. But Manchester City, we might not have as many fans as Liverpool. We might not have as many fans as Man United. But at the end of the day, we're a solid working class club in Manchester. And when we were in the bottom pit of Division 2, we had 32,000 every week going to support this club. And being a football supporter is about supporting your club in the bad times, not in the good times. So nobody can call this club plastic and a club with no history, because when this club was on its arse, we came in week in, week out, watching absolute shit football and survived. And did we win the lottery? Fucking dead right. Did we deserve it? Dead right. And I'm having my time next week in Istanbul, and no one can say anything about it. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, you're no, but I have to respond.
Can I ask you a question?
Can I just respond, Terry? Because I actually didn't respond to any of this.
Okay, respond to it, and I'll ask you a question.
Okay, Steve's response is Liverpool are crap. You should do better. You're jealous. I have no problem with that. That's what I'm saying anyway. I know Steve maybe hasn't worked with me a lot. I've been saying this. I've probably been more negative and critical of my own club than probably most Liverpool fans on YouTube as a platform or on Twitter or everywhere. I've been, criticizing the football club. We should be spending more money. We should be doing all of that. But that does not take away from the fact that even you agreed with me that Man City hit the jackpot. So my point is, all I'm saying is that really could have been anyone else. So if we go back 13, 14, 15 years, that could have been Newcastle, that could have been Everton, that could have been Middlesbrough, that could have been whoever it is. But hear me out. Hear me out. Let me finish. That could have been any club, and they would have had this success because the success was built on money. It was not built. It has nothing to do with Man City, Steve. The success was built based on
Man United spent 1.5 billion and not won one Premier League. So don't say money brings success. Liverpool just spent 600 million and finished 11th for 12th. So don't say money brings success. It's not Championship Manager. It's real life. So you got to give the club credit for what it's done. It got a club that was on its arse and dragged it to the top table of English football. We had to invest in it because you have to invest in businesses. We got there and we've done it, and we're doing it the right way now. Whether you like it or not, we're doing it the right way. And if you've got evidence of 115 charges, then show me the evidence.
You're doing it the right way now.
You're not a lawyer. We're doing it the right way. Yeah,
you're doing it the right way now. After you've built the foundations and you've done all of what you've done.
In any business, you have to build the foundation. In any business, you build the foundation. Littlewoods came into Liverpool. Littlewoods used to run the pools in this country. They had more money than anyone. They came into Liverpool, and Liverpool started winning trophies. Look at the facts. So it's exactly the same. If you want to say money came in Man City and we won trophies, of course it did, because money came in Liverpool, you won trophies. Money came in from the Premier League in '92, Man United won trophies. Money came into Blackburn, they won trophies. Money came into Chelsea, they won trophies. Show me somebody that wins successfully, season in and out, without spending any money.
But that's, once again, that's my point. I'm just saying, which you agreed with me. That
no, it's the terms, isn't it? Plastic. If you said the money coming in, you didn't do it without
money.
Yeah,
but I don't know why you're personalizing that, though. I'm not calling you
because
plastic.
I'm defending a fan base, because what I'm saying is you can't call a team plastic and no history. I've just laid out the history there, yeah?
What's the history? You want an FA Cup before us?
The Centurion season, yeah? That you've never done. Yeah, Centurion season that you've never done. We're on the verge of a treble that you've never done. The domestic, it's not history, did you just say?
Talk to me pre-Sheikh Mansour. That's the history.
Oh, right. So
Before
you're
this entire thing was built.
Terrace, we can't talk about any history that only pre-Mansour, because that suits your narrative. Talk about last season, that was history. Talk about the 34 years you haven't won a title, that's history.
If the takeover, I've already spoken on it, that has nothing to do with it. If the takeover doesn't happen, are you sat here 7-time Premier League winner?
Hold on a minute. If Littlewood's Pools didn't come in and buy Liverpool, are you still sat here now? You wouldn't even
we'll probably still have won it, because we did it the right way.
Absolute bullshit.
We didn't cheat the system. We didn't spend unbelievable crazy amounts.
Yes, you did. In the 80s, Liverpool were buying anyone they wanted, and no one could touch it.
We were the highest spenders, but not like City now. Nothing is like City now.
No, because it's inflation, obviously. And the highest spenders, you spent 3 million in 1980. That's like 40 million now.
Even inflation considered. Also, we don't sponsor our own selves either. You know. So there's
looking to start a chartered on your shirt. Yeah, look into that company and then come back to me.
Yeah, I know about Standard Chartered, but once again, that doesn't mean
how many UK customers have they got?
That doesn't mean we sponsor ourselves, though. Standard Chartered is an international bank. Has nothing to do with John Henry.
Okay, so that makes it all right then. So if you own a football club and you want your brother or your friends to come and sponsor your football club, you're not allowed.
But it's the same family.
It doesn't matter if it's the same family. I run businesses, right? The first thing I do when I start a business, I look through my contacts on my phone and I see who can benefit my business. So if I need a sponsor or if I need a new roof or I need this, I look through my contacts and I get them people because I've made contacts. It's called networking. And I get them to sponsor. I get them to come in and do the work in my business. So if Sheikh Mansour's brother owns Etihad Airways and his brother owns the most successful team in England in the last 10 years, if I own an airways company, I want to be on the shirts of the best team in England. I don't want to be on the shirts of Oldham Athletic because Hassam told me that I can't go on my brother's kit because it's his family.
Okay, and where does the family lead to?
It's business.
No, where does the family lead to? If you keep going, where does this money go to? The government.
What do you mean, where does it lead to?
The government. That's where this money goes to. This is
right,
the thing.
Well, listen, I'm not in.
I'm not saying your brother shouldn't sponsor you.
No, but this is what I'm saying. But there's only Manchester City's sponsorship deals that get scrutinized.
You have to hear the explanation.
Let me just interject for a second.
The source of the money is the same. It's the same.
Sam, I want to ask you a question though. You were on your knees for the Qatari owners, right? We know.
Yes.
This, right? So am I at Man United. So if the Qataris came in at Liverpool and you started dominating like City are, would you then call that being plastic and winning the lottery? Because since the 80s, so you're talking nearly 40 years, you've not dominated English football. If you suddenly started to do what City did and you went through 10 years of domination, 7-8 Prems in 10 years, 3 more Champions Leagues, you wouldn't call that winning the lottery an element of your definition of plastic? If not, why not?
Absolutely not. Because once again, as I asked Steve, it's the same stuff for me. Pre-Qatar, what was our history? Pre-Sheikh Mansour, what was his history? It's the same stuff. It's the same. You can't have less league titles than Sunderland and proclaim to be a big club pre the money.
You're talking about 2008, and then you're saying to me, how do you know what would have happened? How do you know what would have happened?
Let me speak. Can I answer the Qatar question? Let me answer.
No, but you're talking nonsense. You want to talk about City's history pre-Mansour. That's not the history. I'm talking to you now today. Talk about our history.
But that's the turning point
from yesterday
in the history
backwards.
So
No,
what
but
about
that's the turning point in history.
what's your
So
response?
what's the turning point in your history book? Because before 1980s, you know, before the 70s, we've won the European Cups. What was your history before then?
Yeah, we started winning it, but we didn't cheat the system to win it.
Oh, you didn't know. But
No, we
look
didn't
at the
cheat. We
Littlewood
didn't win
family.
the
The Littlewood
jackpot.
family
We
had
didn't do
more
any
money
of
than
that.
anybody. Look at the family that bought you. They had more money than anybody.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean we cheated the system. That doesn't mean
Okay.
we
No, but you spent
employed
more money than everybody else, like you're trying to say we're doing.
No, I'm not just talking about the money. Once again, see, you're not letting me speak.
No, because
If
you're
you
not
let me
making
speak,
sense. You're
no,
choosing when to talk about history.
you're just interrupting me.
When
If
to
you
say
let
plastic.
me speak, if you let me speak, you will find out the problem. And you'll find out my argument. My argument is not you spend money. That's not my argument, because I'm well aware that there are many clubs who spend money unsuccessfully. And we've already given City plenty of credit for their recruitment and all of that. Now, the difference between Liverpool and City in that scenario, Terry, is Liverpool were a big club pre the money. Man City were not a big club pre the money. When I say Man City won the jackpot, it's because they went from nothingness to domination. Liverpool Football Club is a historic, the same with Manchester United. I said the same thing regarding Man United with the takeover. People went like, oh, why would you not have a problem with it? It's not like City. No. Man United are a big club even pre the money. Now, what Steve doesn't realize is I'm not saying the problem is you spend money. No one's saying that's the problem. When he mentioned the brother thing, I told him the issue. The issue is the source of money is the same. So if Sterry is the source of the money and he's giving me money and he's giving you money, me and you both sponsor the same business, by definition, Terry can't own that business because it's his money. So the problem with the whole City situation is, as I've already previously explained, stuff in the UAE are all public owned. It's all owned by the UAE government. There's no such thing as private company. These things don't exist. It's all, Etihad is owned by the UAE. Visit UAE is owned by the UAE. Etihad Airways is owned by the UAE. All of these things, all of these companies, whatever it is, are owned by the government itself. So essentially what's happening is the government is sponsoring the government. That is the problem. The problem is not your brother sponsoring your or helping you out. The problem is you are sponsoring your own company. So look at it from this perspective. If I start Hussam FC tomorrow, and then Hussam Chocolates and Hussam Restaurant and Hussam Industrial blah 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 start sponsoring Hussam FC, it doesn't make sense because we're the same owner. So that is where the problems lie. So that's the difference.
Sam, I understand all of that. I still don't think I've listened to you guys a lot. We're going to go to super chats in a minute. But when you call them plastic and that they have no history, that sounds to me like you're saying because of what they've won, because of who owns them, it doesn't really count. But that logic means that nothing Newcastle will now achieve means anything. And even though Man United and maybe yourselves get Middle Eastern owners, we've got a history, that would still mean that everything that comes after government-owned, UAE-owned money comes into the football club. You by default become plastic, and your new history that you're creating is worthless.
It's not, because once again,
hang on. But if all the money that City have got comes from the UAE, it comes from the government, and therefore it's plastic, and the history doesn't count. Man United have got predated history. But if we get Qatari owners and start winning exponentially more than we were winning in the last decade.
Doesn't count anymore. Don't count. Oh, no, it does count because you're a big club before the money.
Yeah, were you big before the money? You were.
Say again?
Were you big before the money? You were. I was.
No, listen, tell me, hold on a minute. Tell me when I came on here and said we are a big club. When did I say that?
Yeah, but then that's my argument.
No, it's not. No. Everything I say, you say that's my argument. It's not. You said we're plastic. We ain't plastic. We're our own club in our own right. If you want to be bigger than Manchester City, that's fine. I'm accepted that. We've lived in Manchester United's shadow for 20 years, but life's good in the shadow. Let me tell you. Life's good in the shadow right now. Yeah? Life's good in the shadow. I'll live in Liverpool's shadow for another 20 years because at the minute, life's good in the shadow. I'm not one of these that dwells on being a big club. You are. And you've got to justify it. And you're trying to justify it by putting Manchester City Football Club down. That's what I'm saying. I live perfectly happy going week in, week out, knowing that where Manchester City lie in English football, and at the minute we're at the top table and nobody can catch us.